I am really preoccupied with how to make my makeup totally waterproof. How to replace eyebrows and eyelashes if you don't have any of your own, but for that makeup to be totally 100% waterproof. If you want to do something like swimming or surfing or sea kayaking, I'm going sea kayaking in an hour's time, so I thought no time like the present to do this tutorial for you. This all was brought on by my first and last surfing lesson that I took about a month ago, and I was thinking, I'm going to be in the waves are going to be in my face, and my eyebrow technique that you'll see in my other videos, I use a sealer to make stuff waterproof, but is that going to withstand it? I thought not. So what I did was I investigated totally waterproof liner, and I found this great pen by Kat Von D. It's around $20, $22. You can get it in Sephora, I think, or online. And it's great. What it is basically is, it's called Tattoo Liner, and it's 100% waterproof liner that it does what the name says. It basically goes on like a tattoo and will not come off. So I was intrigued to see whether I could use this to replicate my eyebrows in my normal technique that I do, that you'll see in my other videos. And I'm pleased to say, yes, you can absolutely do it. So what I actually do is I use it for my eyebrows and my liner that replaces my lashes. You can see this is the effect here. But when you use a felt tip over time, the tip can get kind of dulled. And if you're doing that eyebrow technique where you're feathering in very fine hairs, you need as fine a nib as possible. So I cheated and I bought 2 of these Kat Von D pens, which has worked really well. So I bought one that I use exclusively for doing my liner, and you'll see that the tip has got a little bit blunter over time, which is fine because it's only eyeliner. And then I bought a second one, the special one, and you'll see that tip is totally fine. It's like razor sharp, and that's what you need for filling in those hairs on your eyebrows. And so to remind myself that this is the special one for my eyebrows, I actually put a little dab of nail polish on it to remind me in my makeup bag, don't use this one on your eyes, only use it on your eyebrows. So yeah, this is basically the same techniques as I've shown you in other videos, but using a different, totally waterproof tool. And I started off from a base of just eyeshadow on my eyebrows, and that's what you'll see when the tutorial starts. And I'm going to do this one in voiceover, unlike my other videos, because it's actually quite fiddly and tricky, and I didn't want to distract myself by talking to you at the same time as doing it, because I wanted to give you the best tutorial I possibly could. So please try it and let me know what you think. And if you're a water baby, now you can go swimming and surfing and sea kayaking and any other crazy stuff that you may wish to do. Instead of using eyebrow pencil that I've shown you in previous videos, I'm taking this very fine tattoo liner felt tip pen essentially and using it to trace really fine little hairs on the brows that are mimicking the look of eyebrow hairs. It's exactly the same technique as I've shown you in other videos, just with a different tool. And because you're using a felt tip, a waterproof felt tip, the colour will be darker and the hairs will look a little bit thicker, so don't worry about that. And it is fiddlier as well. With a felt tip you have slightly less control, it is less fine of a tool, but what you gain there is the waterproof nature of it. So you can go to a pool party or to the ocean or whatever and not have to worry about water splashing your face and your eyebrows coming off. This isn't meant to replace your normal everyday look. I think with the thickness of the felt tip liner, it really shouldn't. But for a waterproof look and for not stressing out when you're by the pool, it is the best one I know. I'm going to show you the second brow now, and you don't need to hear me narrating that again, so I'll speed that up. And so now I'm going to show you how I use the Kat Von D liner pen to trace the line of my lashes that aren't there. Again, this is exactly the same technique as I've shown you in previous videos with using liquid liner. I'm just using a felt tip pen that's waterproof. I'm tracing the upper line of the line I want, and then I'm basically going to fill it in below that. That's the absolute easiest way to draw that lash line. And again, this is going to be totally waterproof. So if you fall in the pool or a big wave comes up and splashes you, you don't need to be worried about that. Sometimes when you're using this felt tip pen, the colour can stop running, and it's just one of those things that happens with felt tip pens. So you can see here what I'm doing is I'm pressing it onto my hand to make the colour start going again, exactly like you do with a normal felt tip pen. One thing about that though, this is pretty long lasting and it is waterproof, so don't forget to wash it off your hand. By the way, I really did not mean to position myself in front of all my liquor bottles there on the back wall. I'm a classy gal, as you can tell. There we go. I'm going to do the other eye now. You don't need to see me doing that, so I'll speed that up. As you may have guessed, putting on false lashes is not part of this 100% waterproof look. As much as I love my false lashes, I do not wear them to the pool because I am too paranoid about a big splash of water hitting them and them coming right off. Just going to remove a little bit of the liner that's gone in my eye there with a Q-tip. And I'm just going to finish off the technique now by lining my eyes with a white eyeliner. Again, I've shown you this in another video, we're just using slightly different tools with it. So I take my white eyeliner, any white eyeliner will do, line my eyes. What I'm doing there is brushing a little bit of powder under my eyes just to make sure it's soft and dry and not wet with my tears. And now I'm going to take that same felt tip liner and just gently trace on little hairs below the eye that are meant to look like a lower lash. And then what I do is I line the lash with that. And let's just show you that again on the second eye. And there you go, that's how you use the Kat Von D tattoo liner to create pretty much totally waterproof eyebrows and eyelashes. So enjoy!